AD Mitchell is quickly getting acclimated to Tanner Engstrand's offense, and as you can see, it's starting to show. He had his best game as a Jet in the win over the Falcons, and he's only going to get better. 8 catches, a $102 and a touchdown, but most importantly, he put his speed on tape, and that's what this Jets offense has needed for a while. So let's break down how the Jets could use him, not only for the rest of the season, but for the future as well. All right, let's get to it. AD Mitchell, had yourself a day, my man. I got 3 plays for you guys, and I like what he's doing. I like the way he's been able to come in and slowly get acclimated into the offense. You see, Mechie had himself a couple big games in this offense, being new to this offense before, and now AD Mitchell, this Falcons game, kind of took over. You see him, big 15 right here, 6'4". I was just in the locker room with him the other day at Jets practice. He is all a bit of 6'4", tall, lean, skinny, and the guy can run. And I'm talking to him about what he's learning in this offense, how he's been able to get adjusted, and he said it's basically a terminology thing is what the most difficult part in picking up this Tanner Engstrand offense. Again, you're going to see, like, we all run the same concepts throughout the league. It's just different terminology. Some teams are on a number system. Some actually have names for route concepts, names or phrases. So that's basically what he said about what the difficultness in picking it up, or I guess just the hardest part of picking up the offense. So right here, you just see a simple speed out. Let's watch the play, then we'll break it down. Boom, speed out. 10, 11-yard catch. Nice and easy. Pitch and catch. See, the Jets run this concept a lot. When I was in the NFL, some of the offenses I'd be in, you got the speed out right here. You've got the corner route or flag route right here. And then number 3 is running a choice route. We're not going to focus too much on number 2 and number 3 in the route concept. We're just going to mainly focus on AD Mitchell and how he's been able to get better, one, with his routes. If you saw him in Indianapolis, that was a little bit of a problem, but how he's getting better running routes and how he's getting comfortable in this Jets offense. So right here, this speed out right here, you see the right foot up. We got the right foot up. This is just 3. You're going to plant on your 3rd inside step. So it's going to go left foot 1, right foot 2. But that's the first, what do you call that, like resolution of your feet. So he's going to take off of his 3rd inside foot, that right leg. It's nothing, but you're just going to plant and roll. It's going to look like a nice tight J. And you can run anything off of this stem, whether it be a bang 8 or a quick post. We call that a bang 8 post, or a glance route. You run this out route from it. That's just, you want this route stem to look the same because you can do so many things off of that. And that's exactly what he does here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3rd foot, roll. One thing I love about him, because you see, one thing I love what he does here. You see when he makes this break at this 4, what is that? The 38-yard line. This DB's at the 35. Young receivers at home, or to anybody's watching, if he just continues to gain ground, gets lazy with this speed cut, and doesn't keep it tight, and get what we call quarterback friendly, which means he's going to lose ground, actually going to catch the ball, obviously maybe over here by the 40-yard line. That is what we call keeping the separation. So as he makes that break and he turns, first we're taught as receivers to get our head around fast. The faster you get the head around, the faster you can track the ball. Number 2, we're taught that it is a race. It's a 40-yard dash to the sideline, because this quarterback, that being Tyrod Taylor here, is going to throw this football to the sideline. You cannot throw this football to the inside because you've got this defender inside ready to jump it. If you're late and inside, that's usually a pick 6 going the other way. So right here, what AD Mitchell is doing, Adonai Mitchell is doing, is he is losing ground to keep his separation here. See that? So as we slowly start this, you see this DB driving on this outside shoulder. AD is losing ground coming back to the football, losing as much ground as possible. All right, the ball's been thrown, it's thrown low, so you're not going to lose ground anymore. Now he's got to go back and catch that. So does that make sense? Let's start from the top of this. Let's start from the stem. If I'll be picky here, if I'm be picky here, you see he's a little choppy at the top of that route. Little choppy, and that comes with him being a little bit high. Us taller receivers, my receiver coach for the Giants, Mike Sullivan, used to say all the time, stay low. Like, we got to keep a lean. You saw Plaxico Burress, Amani Toomer do it a lot. They would always, Brendan Marshall, they would always keep some sort of lean, because that body leaning forward just helps you put that right foot in the ground, throw that left elbow, get the head around or snap the head around, and now you're able to race to the sideline. Not a bad route, but this is something that he's going to want to continue to work and clean up as he gets more acclimated in this offense. It's only his second year in the NFL. So I say that because I feel as though it's taking too many steps to get out of this break. But hey, is what it is. That's spilled milk. So now, here's where that separation that I was talking about, here's where it really starts. Because remember, he started that roll around that 4, around that number 4. So now, those extra 2 steps he took, he has to come back down his step. He has to come back and be friendly and go downhill, be QB friendly to keep that separation. So with every step, stop. Now he's coming back downhill. Do you see that? Step. Losing ground, coming back downhill, trying to keep as much separation as possible. Because just think, if this ball wasn't thrown low and it was thrown in a catchable position to where he could stand up and not go down for the football, now you've got that space, that separation, that allows you to get freaky. That allows you to catch it, make a move, whether you dip and go up the sideline, or if you feel that corner kind of driving hard to this outside shoulder, then you put that right foot in the ground and then you turn it back to the inside. You got nothing but space here. Ball was thrown low. He's able to go down, locate the football, go down to the ground, secure the catch. Good catch. Good catch. And again, look at it. Watch it, because they're going to go back to it. That concept is something that the Jets run a lot. And we're not going to talk about the flag route. That's over the top. Let's see if we can see the end of this catch here. Let's see. Here's what I like about it. You see it. You see him going down. You see him get ready to go down there. A lot of young receivers, you guys, it throws these young receivers off sometimes when they're having to go down to the ground and focus in on the football at the same time with the defender on their back. So great eyes, good hands, cradling it in, securing it, getting down, getting out of bounds. Boom, you get a catch. Nothing. It wasn't anything super special, but hey, you put these things together, you build trust with that quarterback. That quarterback is now, all right, we got a rhythm throw. We've been on time with this throw. Now, this sets up a chance for him to put his speed on tape and take a shot. Here's the touchdown, the 52-yard bomb. Let's watch it, and then we're going to have fun breaking this one down because I love touchdowns. Here we go. Max protection. Throw it down. Use your speed. Go run up under it. Tutty. Dance like you know they're watching. Dance like you know they're watching. And this right here, I watched the his post-game press conference or media availability, and he talked about how this concept, they worked it the entire week. It was installed to beat cover 4, which former Jets defensive coordinator, now Falcons defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich. Ulbrich runs that cover 4 shell. He rushes 4, drops 7, plays a lot of cover 4 behind it. And what they have here is a concept to beat cover 4. It's a double post concept. We called it Dipper. I believe when I was with the Giants. It was called Dipper back in 2007 under Kevin Gilbride's offense. So again, I'm sure the Jets call it something completely different. But again, like I said, it's a copycat league. We all run the same concepts. Everyone just has different terminology. And when you call it Dipper, you use Dipper because double post, the DP, double post. So let's go number 2 with Mechie. Let's watch when I say number 2, that second receiver. So 1 will be to the outside, 2 would be to the inside, and 3 would be whoever that third receiver, that third inside slot, or whomever. We're not going to get into that too much. But let's just talk about what this concept does to this cover 4 look. If you don't know what cover 4 is, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all over the top, and they're basically splitting the field into 4 different pieces, 4 different slices. So this corner's got here, this safety's as here to here, this safety has about around like here to here, this safety has the rest of that. They're taking their man vertical. They play man vertical. So this is what this dipper does. This double post, this inside post run by Mechie, and Mechie, you do a great job here taking the safety away. What this post is going to do is take this safety away and add and give real estate, give space for Tyrod Taylor here to take a shot down the football field. In cover 4, these corners are taught to play to the outside. You see he's on that outside shoulder. So with this split that he has, they cut down this split to ensure that this corner plays to the outside. Now AD has a free release on that post. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, you could probably you can see him attack the outside shoulder a little bit to give him the widen a little bit, but this is all your room. You want to hit this football down here. So let's watch Mechie again. Let's watch Mechie take this safety out of here and watch the space it opens up on the back end. I like to move here. Boom. This safety, he's not in a position to turn, open, and run and play over the top. And you see Mitchell here using his speed to get down the football field. You don't need to do much here. Again, they've already opened the gate. You've got exactly what you guys has practiced. Young receivers, don't try and do anything here. Don't try and do much. Try and give over stick or anything like that. Just it's run. Stick because the quarterback knows you're now ready to break it to the post. That's what sticking with that left foot is going to do. But don't do it to where you're trying to have some sort of move on this corner. Absolutely not. You got what you want. Use your speed. This ball is meant to be put out there for you to go and run up under it, because this safety is cooked right now just because he's held on and he's held this inside post. So you see what this does. Boom. Mechie cross faces here, and this safety jumps it. So now you've got, again, when I say you've got everything that you want, you now have inside leverage on a corner playing outside technique. This safety has now jumped the inside post. You've got everything you wanted. Run up under this football. But here's what I like about it. Really great angle. Because if he tries to flatten it too much, this safety can come off. This safety can pass off, make a speed turn, and get involved with the play somehow, some way. Some of the great safeties do that. You see that a lot in the NFL. But what this angle does is it keeps it high, and Tyrod will throw him where he wants him to go. So if Tyrod wanted him to flatten it off, he'd throw it so he flattens him off. But Tyrod had enough time to identify that this safety is cooked, and Tyrod puts it exactly where this ball should be. Another thing that I like here is the way he's tracking this football 50-something yards down the field. These DBs, they can't track nothing. That's why they play DB. You're a heck of an athlete, but you can't catch and you can't track the football at all, unless he's one of those punt returner, kick returner type guys, because they're used to it. But you see this DB fell for no reason. Absolutely fell for no reason. And what this usually kind of does sometimes is that'll throw a receiver off to where you may feel this DB fall, and now you're not tracking it. You have lazy eyes, or you let him falling affect your eyes, affect your focus. Adonai Mitchell doesn't allow that to happen. He's still tracking this football. He stays up. And he knew he had it. He knew he had it. Ideally, you want to stay up because sometimes the ground can pop the ball free. But look, Tyrod drops it right there in the bucket. Way to go down for that. Way to catch it and get into the end zone, and you deserve it. Dance, bro. Dance. He said he'd been waiting a long time for that. Now we're just going to, I know you can't see AD Mitchell on here, but this is what this does. Watch what Tyrod sees it. Knows he has a clean pocket. Great job by the Jets offensive line, because you know you've got to hold up here. You know you've got to hold up. Give Tyrod Taylor time to throw this football down the field, and that's exactly what he does. Now look at what this looks like. Corner falls. Safety has no shot of getting back into play, get back in the phase. Touchdown. Dance, young man. Dance. Said he's been waiting to do that his entire life. That's his first NFL touchdown. Now, again, remember I say it's a copycat league. Does this look familiar? Looks like the very first play, right? When he caught that speed out. Now they motioned to it the first time. They motion over again. Same thing. They ran a lot of the same plays, the same concepts to attack this Falcons offense. And if you're offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand and you've got two new guys who've only been in this offense for a couple weeks, you kind of got to keep it as vanilla as possible with wrinkles here and there, just so these guys, they're not learning. You don't want these guys to get to game day and they're still trying to learn or they're still trying to figure things out. You want these dudes to be able to be comfortable with what you're calling so they can play as fast as possible. Coach Coughlin used to say no and know you know. Know why you're running the route. You got the X's and O's, but the why. Why are you doing something? Why do you need to be in your spot? So again, let's watch it, and then I'll break it down. Same thing. Got the flag route. Boom. So here's what this does. Here's what this does. Let's look at these two guys real quick. Let's look at the flag route by Mechie, and let's look at it's a choice route. Remember the first time he hooked it. This time he's running the out route with it, and this is what that does. That forces this defender to step up and make a play, and step up and try and be in phase or try and make some play on this football with this receiver. And now Tyrod Taylor just throws it over top of his head here. So this time you see that corner playing off and towards that outside. Now here's the reason why he didn't just run straight and run that out route like last time. This corner's got about a yard or two shade to his outside. So what we call that is attacking technique. You want to attack that technique because you don't want to be inside when you run that, when you break out to run the speed route. You don't want him on that outside, because then you may have to cross face. He may get hands on. It could mess up the timing of a speed out like this. This is a timing throw and catch. So what he does, you see him angle towards the outside or outside shoulder of number 21. He's aiming towards the right shoulder, that outside, so he can keep his leverage. It's all about leverage. And again, you've got this I believe it's a nickel wheel buzzing out. If you're just running straight with your stem, he now gets under that. He has a better chance of getting under and robbing and jumping that speed cut, that speed out. So what AD is doing here, you see where he lined up, and you see where where his stem takes him before he makes the break to run the speed out part of it. He runs the speed out. He's touching paint. He's touching number. He wide to parse that. You see you see that? You see that? You see how he starts the route here, and by the time it's time for him to break, he's over here by the numbers, and we're attacking that leverage. We're attacking that technique, and he does a great job by keeping his leverage. So now this defender is to the inside. He's buzzed. He's gained some sort of a little bit of separation from this curl the flat defender that's out here. But now when he breaks and the concept comes into play, now he jumps, he tries to undercut or rob this. Now AD's in the perfect position. He is in his spot. He's where he needs to be to complete this pass. Boom, a catch on the sideline. Two of the same routes, two catches on the same routes, and he caught the deep ball. Again, it's about learning. It's about feeling comfortable running these routes, being the new guy, and the fact that he is comfortable, or he's gotten comfortable so fast, He's had 10 catches in the last 2 weeks, 2 against the Ravens, 8 this game. You can see he is getting comfortable within this offense. And even more importantly, you see Tyrod Taylor. You see Tyrod Taylor makes this throw because he has the trust that A.D. Mitchell is going to be where he needs to be. You see this defender here, this nickel will, who first tried to go up and rob the out route, the out route by number 3, that third receiver. Now he's trying to get his hands up to effect the throw that goes right over his head. But imagine, just think, if AD kept his stem to where he just ran straight, ran vertical, and now had to turn outward to break, this defender would be in a better position to rob it because AD would be here as opposed to not in his spot where he's at, close to the sideline, to where now this defender can't make a play on the football. Pitch and catch, first down Jets. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. And I think we can expect even more from this kid. I know things didn't work out for him in Indianapolis, but sometimes all you need is a fresh start. Sometimes you can change into an offense or a scheme or a system that's more in favor of what you do and in your skill set. So right now, I'm not, again, these are only 3 plays, 2 of the same routes, but it looks like A.D. Mitchell is slowly getting comfortable within this Jets offense, and it looks like Taylor Engstrand, offense coordinator Taylor Engstrand, is slowly giving him a little bit by a little bit more with 5 weeks left in the season. So expect to see A.D. Mitchell rise. I would say go pick him up on your fantasy because Garrett Wilson is out on IR. Jets aren't really playing for anything right now except pride and to try and put together as many wins as possible. But I think A.D. Mitchell is going to be getting a lot of targets, a lot of passes these next couple of weeks to close out the season. And I love when these young receivers the light kind of clicks on when they're picking up and having to learn these playbooks. And lastly, I'll leave you with this because I was in the locker room. I spoke with Tyrod Taylor and I asked him about Mitchie and A.D. Mitchell and what he's seen from them in terms of how they've been able to grasp and pick up the playbook. He says these guys they're always trying to meet. They're always trying to do more. Walk through, jog through, talk football. You want guys like that in your locker room, especially when it comes to coming in and wanting to put your skill set on tape. You want to be able to play as fast as possible, as soon as possible, but you only do that when you're in the playbook and you're getting to know the X's, the O's, and the Y's. I'm expecting to see more production out of A.D. Mitchell as the season continues to go and as we close out the rest of this 2025 season.